Hello again, another video, and this time this one's about actually trying to draw a diagram and solve a trigonometry problem from a word problem to do with bearings. Okay, so we've got a ship travels from A due west for 16 kilometers to B, and then on a bearing of 225 degrees, and then travels a further 24 kilometers to C. How far is the ship from its starting point A, and what is the bearing of A from C? Let's have a look to see how to do this. So obviously the most important thing is to draw a diagram. So if we just draw the points of the compass first, that sometimes helps us north, south. Now, one way to remember this is Wales comes before England. I'm not Welsh. So we'll have a starting point A. We're going to go west, so we're going to go that way. So we're going to go straight line west for 16 kilometers till we get to B. Now, what is a bearing? Well, a bearing is we need to draw in what's known as a north line, and a bearings are measured clockwise from north, so they're measured around this way. So if we look at the compass, from there to there is 90, from there round to south is 180, and from there round to west is 270. So my bearing of 225 is going to be somewhere between here. So I just need to draw it roughly in the right direction. So drawing round and then drawing a line which is slightly longer than the other one to the point C. That gives me 24 kilometers. Now normally for trigonometry we need some sort of triangle. So I'm going to join the point C and A up. All right, and part A is how far is the ship from the starting point A. What I've got to calculate is this distance here. Now before I can do that, I've got to actually work out what this angle is here, this one here. So just labelling out the triangle first of all. So small a, small b, and small c. And so this is a small angle here. And therefore this angle here, which is what we need to calculate, is going to be 225 minus 90. Why? Because this is 225 and this angle here is 90, and we just want this one here. So that gives me 135. So just going to mark that on my diagram. Now what I've got is two sides and the included angle. So I can use the cosine rule. Remember, that's one of the times we use the cosine rule. So writing out b squared will be equal to a squared plus c squared minus 2ac cos b. So we will put in the numbers now. So a squared is going to be 24 squared, b squared plus c squared, is going to be 16 squared minus 2 times 24 times 16 times the cos of the angle between the two sides, which is 135. Jumping over to my calculator and selecting a calculation mode, check that you're in degrees, okay, and then do 24 squared plus 16 squared minus 2 times 24 times 16 times trig and cos, and the cos of 135, so put in there 135, press enter, and we get 1375.058. Okay, that gives me b squared, so I need to remember to take the square root of that. So jumping back again, and all we need to do is control x squared, and I don't need to write that number in, just do control answer, and that will take the last answer from the last part, and that gives me 37.081775. You are recommended by the IB to actually write down the full value, so 37.081775, which gives me 37.1 kilometers. Right, part B, we need the bearing of A from C. Right, so just drawing the diagram again quickly. You probably wouldn't draw the diagram again. So I've changed this now to 90, 135. What is the bearing of A from C? So we want to draw in a north line at C, and the bearing will be all of this angle here, all of it. All right, so this bit here I can calculate using the triangle, but what would be this bit here? Well, for that we need a little bit of geometry. So if we calculate this angle here, okay, so this angle here will be 360, because there's 360 degrees in the circle, minus 90, minus 135, and that will give me 135 degrees. Now, this angle here and this angle here to this line here, all right, add up to 180 because they're known as allied angles. So 45 plus 135 makes 180. These two add up to 180. So part of our bearing will be 45. Now all I've got to do is calculate this little angle here. So applying the sine rule for that to this triangle here. Okay, so that's going to be this length here. Just going to write it in from the previous part, 37.081775. So it will be sine C over C is equal to sine B over B, because I've only got this angle here. So I need to use this one, and I need to use this one. So sine C over C, C is 16, is equal to sine of 135 over B, which is 35.081. Don't use the one that you've rounded off. And then rearranging that, so I've got divide by 16, so we need to multiply by 16. So we've got sine C is going to be 16 sine 135 divided by 37.081. And we can do this all in one go on the calculator by just finding C by doing sine to the minus 1 of 16 sine 135 divided by 37.081. So not hopping over to my calculator and now do the following. Trig sine to the minus 1 of 16 times trig sine of 135, close the brackets, and then just because I've got the value there in the previous part, and all I need to do is control answer, press enter, and we get an angle of 17.7642. Jumping back to this, so 17.67476. Now I want the bearing, so I want all of this angle here, so I need to add 45 to that. So the bearing of A from C is going to be 45 degrees plus 17.8, rounding that off to 3 simple figures. That gives me an answer of 62.8. Now bearings are normally measured in 3 figures, so you need to put the 0 in, please, because bearings are written in 3 figures. So the final answer will be 62.8 degrees. Okay, quite a lot there in that video. Hope you've have understood it. Please go back and look at it again if you've had problems in understanding, and thank you very much for watching.